What is up, y'all? Capone Tony here, and welcome to another Ever Crisis video. So in this video, I'm going to be covering the new banner, the new featured banner featuring Glenn and Angeal, as well as the new content updates for this week. So let's get right into it. So we're going to go into the draw. Featured banner. If you're a newer player in this game, a featured banner means that these weapons can be wish listed in the future, meaning once this banner disappears, you can put these weapons on your wish list. These limit break banners and like Ever Crisis Academy, these are limited weapons. You cannot wish list them. You will have to either wait for their banner to return or limit break weapons to get added to the limit break draw eventually one day, and hopefully get lucky to get them. But anyway, let's get into this Glenn banner. Glenn. So he got his Viking costume. Looks pretty badass. It kind of fits his tanky build now, or his tanky, character. You got that fur coat in the back. Like the color scheme. This axe is freaking gigantic. Like, holy crap. And yeah, looks pretty badass. So let's get right into it. The Pirate Captain, it has Reprieve, which is an amazing R ability. You get KO'd, you get an extra life essentially. So yeah, Reprieve is amazing. It's great for any character. Automatically, I'd say if you're serious about building any character, always try to get their Reprieve costume if you can. So yeah, Reprieve's amazing. I've used it in a lot of content, a lot of hard content like crash battles, in-game content as well, hard battle tower levels, to cheese content essentially. Reprieve is amazing. So yeah. And he's also got Pirate Pauldrons, which does physical and magic defense plus 20% and HP plus 10%. So yeah, this is a fantastic tanky costume for Glenn here. Highly recommend this one if you're a Glenn main. So yeah, really good. And then he's got the Pirate's Glaive. So this weapon here does 430% physical non-elemental damage to all enemies. Provoke, very nice. Veil, very nice. And then he's got a new status ailments called HP gain. Well, not really an ailment, but a status effect that for all allies, 30 seconds, when triggered, I guess when he uses this weapon, you will restore 4% of the target's max HP. So it's all allies. So I guess every time Glenn uses weapon, you'll recover 4% of each character's maximum HP. So in this case, 4%. Yeah, that's really cool. It's essentially a life leech, right? So every time Glenn attacks, uses this C ability on this weapon, every character in your party gets healed, as well as he's recovering his Veil shield. And yeah, first time he uses it, applies Provoke. Extremely nice weapon here. Very nice weapon for a tanky build for Glenn. Yeah, I know a lot of people a long time ago were kind of confused when they introduced these character roles and they gave Glenn a tank when he pretty much had no kind of tanking weapons besides that ice weapon that he had that had Provoke. That was pretty much all he had. But now with his new ultimate weapon that's appeared in his last few banners, now this weapon, this is perfect for a tanky build, tanky Glenn build. Very nice. HP gain, he's healing the party while he's using C ability, Veil shield on himself, Provoke, extremely good weapon here. Doing all this with one C ability swipe. Really nice. Yeah, really good weapon for Glenn here for a tanky Glenn. And then the R abilities too, very tanky R abilities. Physical defense and magic defense, what more can you ask for? B attack, P attack, sigil boost on the special abilities slots, whatever, support materia slots, X sigil in particular. And then yeah, OB1, 520% AOE damage. Veil goes up from 5% to 6%. This HP gain goes from 4% to 5%. OB6, 670% AOE damage, 8% on the Veil shield, 6% on the HP gain, 40-27 R abilities. OB10, you're at 800% AOE damage, 10% on the Veil, and then 8% on the HP gain. So the way I see this weapon is it can be pretty effective even at like a base copy or an OB1, because the only thing that really changes on this weapon is just the percentages on Veil and the HP gain. The non-elemental damage is not really going to be significant. It's just mainly it comes down to these two, because Provoke is not going to be changing at all because it's always the same 60 seconds no matter what the overboost is. Yeah, so the only thing that really changes here is the Veil and the HP gain, as well as the R abilities, obviously. But yeah, I mean, even at a low overboost, this weapon can be effective for Glenn, so that is really, really cool. But also at the same time, there's really no rush to like OB10 this unless you're just like a Glenn main and you love Glenn. Because like I said, it can be wishlisted in the future. The only thing I really say that you would really want to pull on right now in particular, that's not going to be really a guild battle weapon. The other character in this banners is the guild battle weapon. I'll go into that in a second. But the real thing you want to really at least pull on if you're serious about making Glenn a tanky character, or, you know, being serious about building him, is getting this costume at least. I would say at least pull till you get to the costume, and then I'd say that's good enough. Because, like I said, the weapon can be wishlisted later, so there's no pressure to OB10 it at the moment. So, yeah, that's what I think of Glenn. I think it's a good, really, really good tanky weapon, good build for him in particular. Finally, he has something that really, you know, matches it, that makes sense for his character role of being a tank. So, yeah, really, really good. Especially when you combine it with his ultimate. Yeah, really, really good. So, yeah, let's actually go into the stamp card. And unfortunately, we're back to shit stamp cards again. So, you get 1 5-star guaranteed. You get his weapon. And like I said, if you just want to pull until you get to the costume, I think that's good enough if you're serious about making Glenn into a nice tanky character. For me, personally, I don't really care about Glenn. So, for me, it's easily a skip. But I know there's some Glenn mains out there that are, you know, going to be happy with this banner. So, yeah, this is for y'all. So the other character in this banner, you know, the second page, 3 guarantees and another 5-star guarantee, and then we're back to EX pages. So unfortunately, that, you know, that student discount we got with the Ever Crisis Academy banners, it looks like it's only going to be for those banners, at least for now. We'll see how things go in the future, but yeah, this featured banner is back to kind of being meh. But anyway, the other weapon in this banner, this is the guild battle weapon in particular. This is Glenn's weapon. He got the Mythril Slasher. He is doing 306% magic water damage AOE, and then when a buff is granted, he will do water resist down to all enemies, low to mid, and he has Provoke. So then he has our abilities, magic attack and water potency, and then magic attack, triangle sigil boost for Glenn, or not Glenn, but Angeal. OB1, 410%, and then the goes to low to mid, 22 seconds, 42, 15 on the water potency, magic attack water potency, OB6, 500% AoE damage, mid to high now, and then Provoke, 54, 27, and then we get to OB10, mid to high again, and then Provoke, 580% is what the damage maxes out at. 6239, so you actually can max out magic attack with just this weapon on the main hand, which is really good if you want to use him for Guild War. I mentioned this in the previous video that I knew this guild battle, well, I didn't know, but I was assuming that this guild battle was going to be 2 enemies based on our previous water weakness guild battle. So yeah, there is 2 enemies in this guild battle. This is a perfect banner essentially to make Angeal kind of a pseudo damage dealer, as well as the water resist down character, as well as the provoker, so he can provoke and tank all the hits as long as you give him enough defense, and that'll keep the other 2 characters in your party, assuming it'll probably be either Aerith and Tifa or Aerith and Sephiroth, depending on who you have built out. But yeah, Glenn's going to be a great, provoke, water resist down. This is a very, very guild battle specific weapon here. So yeah, really, really good for guild battle. Outside of that, it has water resist down and provoke. I guess those are both pretty good as well to have for a support character / tank like Angeal. So yeah, I would say there's really not, unless you really, really want to do good, really want to do good in guild battle, I guess this will probably be, he'll be one of the guild battle characters most likely, maybe. I will say this right now. I used Barret instead of Angeal. I haven't, obviously I didn't pull on this banner, but I used Barret in Angeal's role essentially, where he's doing water resist down and provoke with his rebirth weapon, and I'm able to 100% stage 4. So with Aerith and Tifa as the other 2. So I would say this is not super necessary for guild battle, but if you want to, like, you know, if you're like in a top 10 guild or something and you really want to get, you know, do the best you can in Guild War, then I'd say Angeal is something you know, might want to pull on, but also at the same time, I don't think it's super necessary as well. So, I mean, like I said, 100% stage 4 for me. I'm not like a whale account or anything. So yeah, just letting y'all know that. So yeah, very guild battle centric weapon, but also it is wishlistable. So if you want this for the water resist down and the provoke later on, you can just wishlist it later. So there is no really pressure to pull on this now. But yeah, that's pretty much the banner. Glenn and Angeal. Glenn, very, very good tanky build for him. And then Angeal getting a kind of a partial tanky / impaler weapon. So with AoE water damage as well. Like I said, the AoE water damage is kind of nice because there are 2 enemies. Even though the water damage is not really high, he's still doing damage to 2 enemies at the same time. So while he is tanking and provoking, taking all the hits, he's doing damage and impaling the enemy, while Aerith and Tifa can do damage without, you know, being pressured. You know, he's going to take all the hits, so they're not going to be really any risk of dying, essentially. So yeah, that is the banner. For me, obviously, I think, you know, pretty easy skip. For me personally, I don't really care about either of these characters, but yeah, I'd say Glenn is the main star of this banner here. If you really serious about building him, I'd say at least get his costume. But yeah, since it is a feature banner, you can just wishlist these weapons in the future. The other banner here, this limit break banner. So weapons and gear from the past limit break draws have returned. Unfortunately, this is a red crystal only banner, and it's a pricey banner too. 2,500 red crystals per 10 pull. That's pretty steep. And they kind of unfortunate too, because man, the weapons that return here are pretty good ones. Particularly the Blue Daffodil and Aerith's Crimson Staff. These are the 2 weapons that to this day I still use constantly. These weapons are not dated at all, even though they are like 4 or 5 months old now. These are still really, really good weapons that I use all the time. So yeah, but unfortunately, if you're a light spender or free to play, I would say this is probably, you know, something that's not viable for you, because 2,500 red crystals per 10 pull is pretty steep. But yeah, other weapons that returned as well are the Bahamut Greatsword. I don't really use this as much anymore. I mean, I don't really use Cloud as much right now as a DPS because he's kind of fallen behind Tifa and Sephiroth and Yuffie and Vincent. Cloud's been getting neglected a lot, so yeah, kind of unfortunate. I hope he does get some more banners in the future. Bahamut Greatsword, I think, is a great mob clearing weapon, good R ability weapon, but you know, I don't think it's anything crazy nowadays when it comes to actually doing raw damage. Just great for like clearing mobs and ads and stuff, and I use it a lot as an R ability stat stick. I'd say, yeah, like I said, the main 2 stars of this, Crimson and Blue Daffodil. Crimson, magic attack AoE, magic defense AoE to the enemies, 40% exploit weakness. Exploit weakness, one of the biggest power creeps in this game when it comes to DPS characters. So yeah, very, very nice. But unfortunately, again, red crystal only banner. So I assume a lot of light spinners, free to players aren't really going to pull on this one. Glenn's weapon returned as well. Would not pull on this. P attack, water potency. I mean, our abilities are nice. P attack all allies, magic attack all allies on any of these limit break weapons, but when it comes to the C ability, these are kind of dated now. This is a half anniversary weapon for the first half anniversary. 900% physical water damage. You know, it's decent, but there's a lot of, you know, the weapons you get nowadays are just higher in terms of percentages when it comes to elemental damage. Who else came back in this banner? I think that's it. Yeah, it's just those 5. So Glenn, Cloud, Glenn, Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith, as well as Angeal. So yeah, Angeal's weapon as well. So where's that at? Yeah, so Tranquility is here too. It's got Provoke and Veil, good tanky weapon. I don't really see many people using this as a DPS weapon though, because you know Angeal's not really a DPS. It is a great R ability stat stick again though. P attack all allies, water potency. These weapons, Glenn and Angeal in particular, you can already get them through that limit break draw. So I don't think there's any rush to get them in particular. Like I said, I think the stars of this banner are Tifa and Aerith. If you're a paid player and somehow missed these two characters, you can get them in this banner. So yeah, if y'all do pull on this, I wish y'all the best of luck. Very steep price, but yeah, good weapons. Hard to recommend though. Yeah, if you're a light spender free to play, you're not going to pull on this because steep price. But yeah, that is there. Limit break draw has returned. And yeah, that kind of covers it for the banners featured in Limit Break. Let's go into the rest of the content updates now. So regarding the return of certain used Mako gems, we are planning to expand the way to obtain previously featured ultimate weapons and their corresponding Mako gems that have appeared in the past draw events. Okay, considering that we had not previously clarified the availability of Mako gems for weapons after their featured periods, and to ensure that the players have already used Mako gems to exchange for non-ultimate weapons are not disadvantaged, we will be returning the Mako gems that were used in such exchanges. Therefore, we recommend that players who still possess unused Mako gems exchange them for various items within the designated period. So by May 27th, 2025. So I guess if you have any of these Mako gems, go ahead and use them now. It is cool that they are returning ways to get these ultimate weapons. I really want Conformer and Missing Score. I think these are the two best ones I don't have at the moment. Oh, HP Shout is really good too for Kate Sith. But yeah, I guess they're just trying to figure out a way to make your way to get these old ultimate weapons. So if you do have any of these spare Mako gems, I guess you just have to spend them now. By the 27th. So yeah, go ahead and do that. But yeah, that's cool that they are, I guess, doing something so we can get these old ultimate weapons back. Went through these banners. Regarding the new effects, so like I said, HP gain is like a life leech. So during this buff effect, each time the caster attacks an enemy with the C or UC ability, caster recovers a specific percentage of maximum HP. So for Glenn's weapon in particular was 8% HP. So that's really good. So once this is active, 8% HP to the whole party, essentially. 8% of each character's max HP. That's what I understand, at least. So yeah, really good new status effect. So what else is here? Blitzrad event update. So there's gold tickets. Cat's being very loud right now. Yeah, I'll go into the event real quick. So Reawaken Blitz Crash. Go to the victory draw. There's gold tickets now. Look at the prize details. You can get healer memories, Glenn weapon parts, Aerith weapon parts. So yeah, Glenn and Aerith weapon parts, Mythril ingots. So yeah, just do your dailies and you'll get through all these levels in no time. Dailies, and use your stamina pretty much on this event if you need to use stamina. So yeah, that is the Blitzrad event. What else is going on? Oh yeah, guild battle. So let's go back in there. Guild battle, like I said, I was able to clear stage 4 on my first attempt with a team I put together. I'll show you what I put together real quick. So I put together Aerith. She's like our DPS. She's kind of an AoE DPS here. So I put her Crimson Staff in the main hand, so she'll be able to do magic attack all allies and magic defense down to the enemies. And plus having it on the main hand will give is better for the raw damage that she and Tifa will get, as well as having buff extension in this main hand too, 120% buff extension. If you have this in the offhand, you're going to probably have to cast this over and over and over again, so I think having it on the main hand is probably more beneficial. Obviously, team leader's Bamboo Sword. So it's like, what, 742% AoE water damage at OB10. Water potency up to her and Tifa. Very nice. I'm using Tifa. If you have a more built-out Edgar Sephiroth, he's probably better than Tifa, but I think Tifa is probably better for me in this case because my Edgar Sephiroth's only OB6. Bunny Gloves, Offhand, Blue Daffodil, Sub-Equip, Vomit Fangs, Noble Collar, Double Stem E. Let's go back to Aerith real quick. I use Grand Gloves for the big water potency for 52 points. Electro Cannon, Magic Attack, Magic Ability Potency. Flower Vase, Magic Attack, Magic Ability Potency. So with that, Aerith's at 7, 6, 6. Yeah, 7, 6, 6. And with 4 buff extension. Tifa, 7, 6, 5, 5. And yeah, New Year's Mastery. 14,953, 12,638. And then Barrett here, he is just having our ability stat sticks for the other 2 characters to help them do more damage. So boost attack all allies, boost magic attack all allies, boost magic attack all allies. And then Barrett, I would put Shark Slayer on the main hand for the high buff debuff extension, 52 points. And then I'd put his Fafnir rifle on the offhand. Extremely nice because he'll be able to do Veil and physical defense up with each cast, as well as Provoke. Provoke being the main thing that's awesome. So he's going to be tanking all the hits from these enemies in this battle. I think they mostly just only use single target hits. So with Provoke on Barrett, you're pretty much in no threat of the other 2 dying in this battle at all. So yeah, Provoke's really nice on Barrett. And then, yeah, Shark Slayer, very, very nice as well for the water resist down on the enemies. So, yeah, the buff on this guild battle here is Zac and Lucia weapons. I'm at level 74 buff, and yeah, I think that's pretty solid. Only thing I'm kind of lacking on is the costumes here. I think you can put Tifa's New Year's costume in here, but she would lose a big chunk of DPS by losing 30% water potency, so I don't think I can really do that. But yeah, that's pretty much Guild War. Like I said, with this build right here, without the new Angeal setup, I was able to 100% stage 4 on my first attempt. Pretty good, in my opinion. Aerith and Tifa, very, very nice for this guild battle. I mean, like I said, even though Aerith's weapon is only 742%, she's hitting 2 enemies at the same time, so that's really, really cool. And then Tifa is just kind of like your single target big hit DPS. So yeah, this is a setup I'm probably going to use for Guild War. All right, I think that pretty much covers it for all these updates in Ever Crisis. Let's go. Let's see, anything else? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, if y'all enjoy my Ever Crisis content, please give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all on the next one. Later.